much more than God of War than what they think. And this is bad. PC.
No, you know what they're saying, Jay? You know what they're saying? Because he said in 24 hours, right? You know what they're saying? He's saying that PlayStation games are simple. That's what he's trying to say.
I know that's what he's saying.
Right, so I'm back. I haven't been making videos because I'm lazy, and I've got a life. But I saw a video, this was over a month ago, by JayTech. Basically, JayTech doesn't want you to develop games. He doesn't want you to have fun challenges with game development and having fun. If you want me to explain it, basically he's shitting on a guy who's doing himself a little challenge. There's these YouTube channels, like the one I watch is Rubes. He basically tries to recreate a game within like a certain amount of time, like he remade The Simpsons Hit and Run, Modern Warfare 2, GTA, that kind of thing. And you know what? They're great videos. They're great videos. They're entertaining. They're funny. And it really shows how good and sometimes nowadays easy game development is, and you can really develop yourself from it. But JayTech is shitting on this guy because he made the mistake of trying to remake God of War in 24 hours. Obviously, he just tried to get the main mechanics in, like the axe throwing, and just the environment itself and the characters. Obviously, he's not going to remake the entire... Well, I assume this. Obviously, they should know that he's not going to try and recreate the entirety of God of War in 24 hours, because that would be impossible, and it's not. Even with the biggest team possible, it's not actually possible. And we all know this. It's just a funny little how much can I do in 24 hours kind of development. And I watched the video, and it's actually quite good. I do actually quite enjoy it. It's a good video. Obviously he got it wrong. He thought, he's saying, "Oh, you shit." But we'd like to go into this, so I'm gonna try and start it now.
The price, oh my freaking goodness, the price hike.
I made God of War in 24 hours. Somebody made God of War in 24 hours. I'm guessing that's on PC. This is not a part of our scheduled program and topics, but I am very interested. Okay, so this...
I like how he says it, like, off the bat, this is not a part of the schedule. I don't think they have a schedule. They have crayon written on what they want to talk about. Just a crayon, like piece of paper with crayon written all over it. This is what I want to do. Crayons are sick, by the way. But obviously it's not part, and it shows because this part is completely hilarious. He's shitting on someone who's actually got a talent and is showing their talent. I'm currently developing a game, and it's not easy sometimes. Even the most simple stuff isn't easy. Probably got about 10 hours of gameplay. Right, it's took me over 200 hours. It's somewhere between 5 and 10 hours. And shitting on this shows how little you actually know about game development, because it is not easy.
So his future has waned between...
Hey, Truity, you want to hear something more interesting?
Yeah.
Somebody made God of War on PC in 24 hours. I think you want to look at this.
I'm looking at the screen.
I think you're going. I think everybody's going to want to see how well PC fanboys are at developing great games. Like, this is going to be fucking phenomenal.
Considering what he's done in 24 hours, it is pretty fucking good. I like how he tried to take a dig saying, "Oh yeah, it's got to be great," when he thinks it's got to be shit. Personally, I think the amount of dedication that is required to build something in 24 hours as a challenge is actually quite fun. But no, it's just silly. It's just silly. And he's like trying to bring it over, and he's saying he's a PC fanboy. You do realise God of War is developed on a PC. You do realise that a lot of console developers do play on PC. I'd assume so anyway. It's one of those things where he thinks all console developers develop on the console and develop and only play console. It's not true. That's not how it works. Most developers get inspiration from so many different games that they have to play a wide variety that is available both on consoles and on PC. You don't realise this, do you, JayTech?
This straight. These motherfuckers tried to remake God of War in 24 hours, and it looks bad.
They try to remake.
They tried to remake. They tried to make or remake God of War in 24 hours for PC. What I never understand though, Boca Loca, cat lover, you still here? You still sniffing cats?
Oh yeah, I can still hear you and smell you.
Oh, you can still smell me. Okay, as long as you can still smell me, miles and miles away. Okay, Boca, wasn't the whole point of giving the PC community God of War so they wouldn't need to do shit like this?
No, you degenerate. The reason why they wanted to give it to them is so they can actually experience a game that, from what I knew, was a fucking incredible game. Some YouTubers who I very much respect in the gaming space were very much like, this is a must-play game. It is the best game on PS4. When it was out on PS4, you have to play it. I just didn't want to spend... In the UK, there was still about £250 for a PS4, and I was like, no. I'm not spending £250 on a PS4 for one game. So I waited. That's why they're giving it to us. He's not doing this in response to, like, you know, you're not giving me God of War Ragnarok, fine, I'll build it myself. It's just a challenge to see how much you can do. Maybe he's doing it because of that, and good on him. It's one guy doing this. Fucking, you wouldn't be able to do this, would you, JayTech?
Hold on. So they think this one looks better than the God of War.
I don't know what they think, but the fact of the matter is they already have the first God of War. There was literally no reason to make this one.
Again, JayTech, you're missing the point. They're not making it because they can't play the game themselves, you idiot. The reason they're doing this is just to see if they can do it. And game development isn't easy, but you can do a lot in a short amount of time, and it's very impressive that these people do this. I'm just saying the same thing over and over, essentially. I'm saying, look, this is cool. Look how cool this is. But he doesn't... I obviously assume and probably know that he doesn't think this looks better than the new God of War. Him saying, his mate, whatever he is, True Witty, saying that is fucking stupid, because obviously it's not going to look as good or better than God of War 2018 or even the PS4 version, because guess what? It doesn't have the what horsepower, the workforce, the time, the effort. He's not saying that, and he's obviously using some amount of assets and some amount of programming to create what he can in a very short amount of time. Like I said, Rubes does it and it's great.
In Unreal Engine 5. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, they have the first God of War. They currently have the first God of War. There is no reason for them to make it. That was the whole point of Sony putting their games on PC, so the PC fans would buy the game and give them revenue.
Told you, Jay.
I had to sit through it. Sorry, I giggled at the start of that, but you have to understand, I sat through this, so now you're going to have to try and sit through this. He keeps reiterating the point. They gave you God of War. You don't need to create it. And yes, they don't need to create it. They don't need to create it at all. But they are. And the reason they are doing it is a challenge. They aren't doing it because they don't have access to the game. They're doing it as a fun. It's a fun game. See what you can do in a certain amount of time. JayTech, you are oblivious to your own stupidity.
Told you, Jay. They're not gamers. They're developers.
Sam.
Sorry, I had to add that bit in of True Witty saying they're not gamers, they're developers. You do realise you can be both. And most of the time, developers come from the love of gaming. There are exceptions to that and whatever, but most of the time developers come from the love of playing games. I know so many people who play games and were like, I want to make them because I really love video games and I want to give my own creation into it. That's why I've always developed games. I've never released one, I've always just toyed around with it. I've toyed around with Unity, Unreal, and a few others, and I've loved it all the way. I've programmed in JavaScript, Ruby, and C# and C++, and I've loved it all the way through. It's fun, it's silly, it's exciting. But again, I'm a gamer. I put a small amount of hours into Call of Duty since I've owned it. In like the month I've owned it, probably why I haven't been on anything else very much. And that's the reason why I haven't actually been developing very much. Because I'm a gamer first, and I do YouTube and streaming and game deving afterwards. But yeah, obviously, a lot of developers are on PC because guess what? If you try and develop on a console, it's not going to go very far.
Yeah,
What's the whole point of them like trying to remake God of War when you already have it? And
what are you using to do this? Like what engine?
Looks like they're using the Unreal
Engine.
And,
so it's basic.
and they're dumb enough.
Right. Again, he said it again. Why do you need to do this if you already have the game? Maybe they just want to challenge themselves. Also, I didn't really hear what that guy said when he said what engine are they using after that. If he said basic shit, whatever. Game development, Unreal Engine is a very complex and very strong engine. There are a lot of fucking fantastic games developed in Unreal Engine. Just because some people don't need to code as much to use it doesn't mean it's a basic engine with basic complexities. Basic functions, basic complexities is a oxymoron. I'm losing brain cells watching these, I think.
God of War. At the time I have been doing this. This is November 7th, 2022. That you can feel the salt. The salt is God of War Ragnarok is coming out. They're like, okay, yeah, let's remake God of War. They post this video about 2-3 days before God of War Ragnarok. This is based off of the old God of War, which is outdated compared to God of War Ragnarok. And what I'm seeing right here is still bad.
How dare you just complain about someone's development when you have no development knowledge whatsoever, JayTech? If you do, I would like to see what you've developed. On top of that, I don't think he's claiming that it's better than the 2018 God of War. I don't think he's claiming that. And yes, God of War Ragnarok is more feature-rich than the original God of War. Obviously, you don't need the brain capacity to figure that out. Obviously, he is not trying to develop God of War Ragnarok. He is not salty that he doesn't have God of War. He might be. Actually, he might be. I don't know. But he obviously is just doing this as a challenge. And JayTech, if you can't seriously look at this and go, maybe this is a bit, maybe this entire thing is a bit and I'm wrong and I'm an idiot. But I really don't think it's a bit. I think he genuinely thinks that these people are like, oh, I'm salty that there's no God of War Ragnarok. I'm going to try and develop a game. Fuck's sake, JayTech. Fuck's sake.
God of War Ragnarok. And what I'm seeing right here is still bad. There's much more than throwing the axe and calling it back. Like, they believe that's all God of War is.
Sorry, I was about to record that and just started laughing. He obviously doesn't think that God of War is only axe throwing. If he did, I think he would be very... Well, I know he's very wrong, because believe it or not, I've played God of War, and I have finished it. I will go through the entire game. I didn't 100% it. My second playthrough is going to be on my Steam Deck, because I'm quite excited for that. I'm going to do a New Game Plus on my Steam Deck, but I finished it quite quickly, because I went to... I forgot where it is. Is it Helheim? I went to the place where it's lava and volcanoes. I've lost it off the top of my head. And basically, my mate said it's like a challenge area and it's really tough. I kind of just did really well and blitzed through it. And getting all the smouldering fire and stuff and creating a new armor kind of made the game way easier in the main game, because I did it quite early on. Did it like 4 or 5 hours in. I didn't finish it all, obviously, but I did a lot of like grinding throughout that, and it kind of ruined the difficulty in the game, because I was just blitzing through. Even like the final boss wasn't that tough, and it was a great game though, fucking fantastic game, and I still highly recommend it to anyone who wants to play it. I loved God of War, and I am genuinely quite excited for God of War Ragnarok. Again, I won't buy an entire console just to play one game I'm excited for. I just won't do it. I spent enough on my PC, and I don't really want to do it, personally. I just don't want to. I'm just gonna wait. I'm happy to wait 4 years. I'm happy. But he's not saying that. He's doing what he can within the time limit that he's set for himself.
Or is. But they have the game. So if they don't know how the game is, they could play it. This is what I don't understand about the PC community. They literally have games, and they will just remake games that they all can already play. And I don't understand it.
Jay,
And you have all this was funny. You have all the bells and whistles. Sony wasted time and money to give them all the bells and whistles. Unlock frame rate, this, that. What the hell? What is even that? Just what is even this?
I told you, bro. Could
somebody make this make sense to me?
I think this was the point where I realised this may not actually be a bit. He might actually be serious and not understand why people try and remake games. Believe it or not, JayTech, they do it for fun. I know you know what fun is because you play video games. Actually, maybe you don't because you grind trophies, which are the dumbest fucking thing ever. If you grind trophies, you're an idiot. Unless you genuinely find like fun out of it somehow. But he grinds trophies. Even for games he doesn't like, he will decide to platinum them. There again, I can't talk. But it's fucking stupid. JayTech, he's doing it for fun. This is all fun to him. And I get it. Game development is fun. When you finally get something to work and it's actually working, it's great. It's the best experience ever. You obviously don't get that. And that's fine, you know? That's fine to not get it. But he's doing it because he likes to make games. He might have played it, he might not. It's not the point. What he's trying to do is just develop what he can in 24 hours that's similar to God of War. You couldn't do this, so shut your mouth.
They are developers. They are.
Then why do people keep telling me it's all right to put games on PC? If they're just gonna make the shit anyway, just give them the character skins and call it a fucking day. Sell that shit to them for like $10 a pop and call it a day.
Well, Dreams would have worked great on PC.
Shut up.
It's because they actually want to play the game. There are people who are gamers and want to just play the game. And the reason they're doing this again is not just to make the game so you don't have to buy it. The reason they're doing it is for a challenge. Believe it or not, the repetitive nature of me is not my fault. It's because of him. And I wanted to just kind of show individual points and put it through. But he's pushing the point so much. If you can break it yourself, why did you ask for the game? Genuinely kind of annoyed me a little bit. So I'm like, I will put in every single point where he says that to annoy you as well. Because believe it or not, he says it over and over and over. And if you have nothing else to say, just don't continue. And his entire chat's like, oh, this is shit. Yeah, you try and do better. And I know that's kind of not an excuse of like, oh, well, if you can develop, you can't talk unless you can develop something. Actually, constructive criticism, you know? He's trying to do it in 24 hours, and I think what he's done in 24 hours is pretty good. Yeah, suck my ass, JT.
Hey.
None of this looks like the game. It's just him doing shit in an empty space.
He really... Look, we're just going to keep watching it because I think hopefully it gets...
Yeah, it looks like shit in an empty space because believe it or not, when you're developing a game, you develop how the game is working and the base mechanics in an empty space. It's pretty well-known practice in like development where if you want a car to work or a movement set to work, you'll do it in just like essentially a little crash course and then you'll put it into the world. Developing it in the world has so much more complexity to it, and it's way better developing it in a small space first. So he's getting what he wants to get down first, which is like axe throwing and the monsters themselves. So he's obviously like got an asset, changed the colour, and on top of that he's made the eyes glow. He's done all of that and he wants to see how it works there on a stock level before it's in the game. Because it's a test. He's testing it. Do you know how long game development takes?
Better. So he's a dumbass. He can only remake one character model. What the fuck? He's trying, but they can't do it.
Believe it or not, game development is hard, JayTech, and one guy trying to remake all of the monsters in God of War is a feat. I was watching recently Rubes, when he was remaking The Simpsons Hit and Run, talk about how actually remaking the entire asset base for something even quite small like the Simpsons Hit and Run. There is a lot of repeat in that game. Even redoing that is a lot of effort and a lot of time. And maybe JayTech, just maybe, he's not a graphic designer, he's not an art designer, he's a programmer. You don't know this, and he's not an idiot for just trying to have some fun with it. Maybe you're an idiot for not realizing that he's just trying to have fun with it.
Is bad.
PC? No, you know what they're saying, Jay? You know what they're saying? Because he said in 24 hours, right? You know what they're saying? He's saying that PlayStation games are simple. That's what he's trying to say.
I know that's what he's saying. But there's way more than God to. If he would play.
No, Chewiddy, you nonce. That's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's trying to do as much as he can within a very limited time period. Right now he's doing a hitbox system. He's doing hit detection. I think Rubes described it really, really well in his video. I might even throw in a clip about it. Essentially, he's creating a little sphere around the weapon, and then when it moves close, it will take damage once it intersects. I think Rubes did this with a gun. He shot a trace, and the trace would show a line, and if it hit an interaction, if it was an enemy, it would do damage. If it wasn't an enemy, it would just stop. So it wouldn't go through walls, or just carry on, or just not damage people. What he's essentially doing is hitbox detection and damage detection. And right now, he's showing that off. Obviously, he's still in very early stages within the 24 hours. And he needs to get this down first. He's not just going to create a world and then throw a fucking character in it and go, job done. Do you know what I mean? Chewiddy, you're an idiot.
Available on the platform he's using to create this, he would understand that there's way more than God of War than that. Like the Blades of Chaos and the other 85 weapons that you've had through time on other God of War. So
this guy's played so many God of War games that the only weapon he can think of is the Blades of Chaos, which, to be fair, first thought that came into my head, I was like, is he got to do the Blade of Chaos as well, or is he just got to do this? But obviously he doesn't know that there is only one weapon in the game. At first I thought there was going to be only one weapon in the game. I was wondering where the Blades of Chaos were, and the unveil for that was fucking amazing. If you haven't played it, spoilers, you should definitely play it, because that unveiling of the Blades of Chaos was really, really cool. And since that unveil, I was like, I want to use nothing but the Blades of Chaos, because that was really, really cool. Yeah, I love the game. Sorry, I just keep talking about how much I love the game. But yeah, it's a really good game, and he's obviously just doing base development right now. There is more to the game. I think he knows that. If he doesn't, then oh well, but I think he does know that.
This is what we do, bro. This is what we do.
Yeah, bro, this is what we do. We get people who are aspiring game devs and telling them that they suck and they're the worst game developers ever and they shouldn't make games because they haven't played them and they don't understand them. This is what we do. We insult people and we tell them that they're shit at development. You know what? Fuck you, Jay. Now you may think that was a bit mean of me, but the reason I'm quite emotional about this, and I think the main reason is I do game development. And when you pour as many hours as you do into a lot of stuff of learning how to develop games and how to make games, even small projects like this require a fair amount of experience. And when people go, it's just shit, it's really disheartening, Jay.
Learn the hard way. Dante, hey, Dante, that's what me and Truity have been saying. Sony, you gotta learn the hard way. Hey, bro, I'm only against it because I know who these guys are. And I know it makes sense for you to buy the game that's already available instead of remake it.
The reason you're against it, JayTech, is because you like to laugh in the face of people who can't play games. When I was talking to one of my close friends, Sam, about God of War, he was like, I wish you could play it because it's very, very good. And this was at the time when God of War wasn't on PC. And I agreed with him. I was really sad that I couldn't play the game. He would have happily laughed in my face. He would have gone, get a better PS5, you scrub, haha, how funny is this, I get to play this game and you don't. I don't get that mindset. When I play an incredible game on PC, I'm always like, why can no one else play this game? It's really, really good. Hey, have you seen this game? It's really good, I wish you could play it. I really hope it comes to consoles, because it is really good. That's my view when I play a game. I don't go, haha, you can't play it, look how great PC is, because that is not constructive. That is not what friends do.
This is fucking pathetic.
We're gonna get a remake of probably both of the games.
You said what I thought, Jay. This is pathetic. 3 people who probably don't have much game development experience taking a shit on someone who's actually got some sort of experience. It is pathetic, Jay. It is absolutely pathetic. You are right. Tell you what isn't pathetic. Putting effort into learning new skills, unlike you, who sits there and plays video games. Learning how to play a different game is not a skill that is transferable to anything. Yes, it's a hobby, and I am fully for hobbies. Everything doesn't have to lead to a career or a new hobby or a new skill. Hell, I won't play as many hours as I put into the new Call of Duty if I wanted to learn a new skill instead. Just putting it out there, it was fun. I enjoyed it. But no, it is pathetic the way you act with these people.
Both of the games anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna get a remake of both of the games anyway, and they're gonna put it on PC. But what's the whole point of making those remakes if those remakes are gonna get remade because the people on PC don't want to buy it?
I love that sentence so much. Now I stumble over my words, and my girlfriend definitely stumbles over her words. But come on, mate. Come on. I know it's live, so it's one of those things where you can't really change what you say. But come on, man. Again, he's saying the same thing that he said probably about 6 or 7 or 8 times. Why are you making this game when the game is available? Wait for the game or buy a console. That's what he's saying. No, they're challenging themselves. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They're challenging themselves and trying to learn unique things and trying to test what they can do with the gaming development skills. I hit my hand on my fucking chair and that really hurt. Because when I talk, I throw my arms about and I hurt myself.
They won't. My point still stands. Why put games on a platform where people don't want to buy the games? You can say...
You can't do a blanket statement of no one wants to buy or play this game on this platform. Believe it or not, JayTech, I spent 40 hard-cold British pounds on God of War. What did I buy it on? I bought it on Epic Games. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do it? Why did I buy it on Epic Games again? I don't remember why I bought it on Epic Games, because normally I buy a game on Steam instead of on Epic Games, but I bought it on Epic Games regardless. I think I got it because it was like £5 cheaper. It's 35 quid instead of 40. I think. Maybe that was the reason. I don't know. But I bought the game and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I am obviously against the grain here, JayTech. Believe it or not.
What's gonna happen?
This is fucking horrible. You can't even jump in God of War.
Wait, can you not jump in God of War? I did not realise that. There's a climb button, isn't there? In God of War, there isn't a jump button, there's a climb button. So when you need to climb from a ledge and stuff, you can do it. I forgot about that. But also, so fucking what? He's not trying to remake the game true to life, because right now it doesn't look very true to life, if I'm completely honest. But maybe he's adding his own spin. Why are you saying the game's horrible because there's a jump button when there isn't in the actual God of War? Come on, man. Also, I didn't realise your voice could get that high. That is impressive.
The quality that he's using for God of War Ragnarok is from a video. I've played the game. This scene looks tremendously different when you're playing the game. Everything they showed in the trailer looked way better on your TV or monitor because it's running in an engine.
Now, this is somewhat true. Somewhat. Usually, because of the way YouTube works and YouTube compression is... Well, let's put it nicely. YouTube compression isn't the best. Stuff does look worse on YouTube. But you still look at games on YouTube and go, this looks like poo. So, I don't think he actually says that, but in a British accent as well, he just says, this looks like poo. A British man trying to do a British accent never sounds very well. Yeah, obviously, you know, it looks different, but, you know, he's just trying to get some B-roll footage. He's not trying to, you know, play the game. Come on, man.
Oh, now it looks like he got a forest from off of the Unreal store or whatever, and he thinks that if he got the forest and he changes the color filter, it'll be like God of War. It's so very sad what he believes the game is. It's an insult. It's a complete fucking insult.
I don't know if it's an insult. I think it's actually quite cool. It's like, oh, look what I've done. Yeah, obviously it's not the best because he didn't remake the environment, which is mostly fine. You don't have to remake an entire new environment. But, you know, it looks alright, you know. I think JayTech, you're being a bit harsh. It's not an insult to the game devs going, look, I made a better game than you. He's not saying that, JayTech. He's not.
You can clearly see a difference in the quality of the Sony Santa Monica game and his bullshit, though.
Exactly. All I'm seeing him do is throw the axe.
Bro, his character model's way smaller. It's not even accurate.
It's the Fortnite character model. That's why.
Why did they fuck? Oh, well, it's Fortnite. That's a rhetorical question, then.
Obviously, it's not going to be good as a fully fledged team. Obviously, I don't know why he said that. That's like saying the sky's blue or the sky. It's one guy. It's one guy just messing about. Why are you taking it so seriously? Come on, JayTech. And JayTech and friends. Yeah, obviously it's not as good as the full Santa Monica team, who took years to develop it. I don't know. I think that's enough JayTech for me today. Yeah, I'll try and be more consistent with my schedule. I just don't really have much. I have stuff going on, you know. I have work, I have the game dubbing, that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Really hope that JayTech learns that game development is fun. Maybe you should learn it someday. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Also, like and subscribe, I guess, if you want to.
She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let